Welcome to the Bougie Black Brother Network. Good evening and welcome to Carwax. I'm Michael, your Bougie Black Brother, and I'm here with my co-host Sean. What's going on?
Woody, son.
And we're here for our weekly music review, and the two uniquely, artists that we have. I really wanted to get into the SyAri da Kid because he had two releases this year, which was really, really interesting for me. And then I started listening to a couple of his older stuff just to see what kind of style that he had. And then N9ne, I knew I heard him before, so I had to kind of go back and start listening to his style, which reminded me of how really, really different this guy is as well. So, with that said, do you have any background on any one of them, Sean, or it was kind of like here and there, and then you just was listening to the new release?
Oh no, I've been messing with N9ne a long way. One of my Midwest homies put me all the way on the N9ne, like all the way on the N9ne. But I've been knew about N9ne for a while. He's been in the game. Nah, E40 probably been in the game longer, but he's been in the game since Eminem. You know, since the same year Eminem dropped his album, mm-hmm. I think he dropped his first project. But yeah, and then SyAri, I actually seen SyAri at the A3C a couple of years back. He performed before Famous Dex got really big out there. I actually met Famous Dex out there also. But yeah, I've heard a little of SyAri. SyAri isn't as big, of course, because he represents Atlanta, but he has too much lyrical content to be representing Atlanta. So. Mm-hmm. He's kind of like, they kind of brush him to the side. But yeah, I definitely known about both of those.
So let's run into N9ne, and I'll give you my stretch on his. Even though his new release, I was just listening, and I was like, damn, this shit is weird as hell. And it was kind of hot because it's the type of style you got to respect. It's not, if you really looking at mainstream, if you're really looking at trap type music, if you're really looking at East Coast, West Coast, to me, he's none of the above. He has just a type of music that he runs with. And listening to his older stuff, you can tell that, this is nothing new to him. This is what he puts out, and this is how he puts it out. And whatever he puts out, it's selling. People like it. It kind of reminds me of more of a Miami, Florida style. But so it was really kind of odd for me. But then when I started listening to his older stuff, I was like, nope, this is who he is. And I went from there. So what's your take on this new album that he actually put out?
Well, yeah, he's based out of Kansas City, and he's 100% independent. Mm-hmm. So you definitely got to hear about him from word of mouth, and he's that good. He's actually he sells out shows. Yep. He's an entertainer. You know what I'm saying? He's not just a rapper. He's an entertainer. He knows how to sell out shows, man. So again, this wasn't the first album I heard. He had an album. I think it was called like 6'7" or something like that, and he had Wayne on there. That was a hard ass album. But what's been happening lately is he's been dropping a lot of collaborations. He's really pushing out his record label.
Right.
He's really trying to get everybody eating. He's feeding a lot of people. I was listening to one of his interviews. He paid a lot of money on divorce. He just went through a divorce.
Yep, just recently. Yep.
Cutting his check. Had to cut a check on that. So me hearing this one was like, God, this is hard. You know what I'm saying? It was like he started off so stupid. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then he was able to give you certain different styles. Yeah. It was like he was it was like he did what Eminem was supposed to have done. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He did, because this was what's so creative about. This is what's so creative about Tech-9ne. Tech-9ne could rap about a video controller or a glass, or just a glass, a wine glass. You know what I'm saying? And he could make a whole song about the wine glass and entertain you about it. You know what I'm saying? Eminem has lost that. You know, he overthinks it, so to speak. You know, you hear a lot of these tracks on Planet, and it's a simple concept.
Oh yeah.
And he just creates this whole thing around it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he will never lose his fan base.
But you know, what's impressive about him is it's his style. Now, if you running into him and be like, what the hell is this? You would walk away. But if you knew of him, back to what you're saying, he's not going to be out there as being compared to everyone else and they're waiting for his new release or whatever. He's just known. People know him. And when you hear him, it's so different. And he's not trying to be different. It's just who he is. So
I'm
listening to his older stuff to say, yep, this is just who he is. So go ahead. You said the catch?
Yeah, the catch is let's make MMG 100% independent, and let's put strange music on Def Jam. Would that be would you say the same thing about that?
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He would go diamond. People will be waiting on his music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Still to this day, you know, but the fact that he's going independent and he's so strong, you know, he's in the same line as E40. Okay. You know, E40 makes Cali dance music. That's what I was listening to the other day. I'm like, damn, man, E40 will always make music because he knows how to make the kids dance. You know what I'm saying? They got new dance moves off of his music. You know what I'm saying? So E40 is your age. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like making hits. You know, making singles, still making money off of music. Just put it like that.
And people waiting on it.
Yep. And I'm waiting on it. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for 40 to come out to hear what's rocking next, to see how the kid's going to be dancing. So Strange has a different feel, but is it literally in that same boat?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got white kids that love this music, and black kids who just don't understand it, to your point.
But I walked into it that way, like, what the hell? And then I remembered hearing his name, and I was like, come on, where did you hear it from? Where did this come out? That's why I really had to go back. And then I was like, this is who this guy is. And he's not changing. He's getting paid.
Oh no, not at all.
He's producing his own shit. He's rapping his own shit. An actor, entrepreneur. You read his little bio and shit. He's doing it all and said, I don't need to be mainstream because I'm doing what I got to do. And, you know, he has a different rap style that is, you know, fast and hitting that. He got a couple of people he actually
and all the features.
Yep.
All the features held their own.
Yep.
You know, I thought that's what was so good. Even Shorty on there held her own. That shit was hard. I was like, damn, she's nice. You know what I'm saying? And she was really flexing. She was really flexing. So, you know, all the features were, if you can't rap like this, you will not be on here. You know what I'm saying? If you can't keep my pace, I don't even want you on here. And you know, it was like they already knew. They was amped about it, and they brought it. You know what I'm saying?
It's
and they
just
made sure they brought it.
a lot of energy too. You know, his music has so much energy. Yep. At first, I was kind of like, "Whoa, what is this fucking hitting me?" And you know, it had like a rock feel, and it had like a mosh pit type shit. But then it was quality rapping, and then he speeded up, and then some of it he don't even rap fast.
He's just talking to you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And he's just going with the beat, talking to you. And it was like, wow, that's nice.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
But I'm being perfectly transparent. When I first heard it, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
And I had to go back. You know, I mean, you know, every time we talk about this, it'd be like, look, man, when you hear something new, you don't know how good it is until you know where it came from.
Right.
And then when you hear it, then you go, this is pretty impressive. Because he's not in anybody's lane.
Oh, not at all. Like you used to say Eminem could keep up with him. You used to say Twista could keep up with him. You know what I'm saying? But like those names are long gone. Well, I ain't gonna say that. Eminem just made a platinum album, so you know what I'm saying. You can't take that away from him.
But that's his name.
Yeah, off his name. Yep. But lyrically, oh my gosh! As long as he's been in the game. He's, like I said, again, he's able to find the simplest concept and create a masterpiece on it. Drink Up wasn't one of my favorites, but it was creative.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, like Bad Juju. You know, just the way he's able to find the word and create so much off of it. You know, I think that's just amazing. At his age, I think that's amazing.
But I think he owns it. And when you own something, you're going to always try to make it your best. And I think because this is his style, this is his music, this is his brand, he can do whatever he wants with it. And it matches what he does. And I really I turned on. I got starting to get impressed with it because again, we down a lot of different lanes. If y'all listen to our podcast, we on some different type of lanes, and there's some new people coming out doing some new type of things. But this was almost new to me to make me respect that. Yo, this dude's been doing this for a while.
You're right. But I think it. As much money as he's making and as great as his hustle is, he don't mind.
Right.
You know, he ain't looking for it. You know, he's not looking for it. You know, Nipsey, on the other hand, you know, he hasn't created that fan base yet. So he kind of had to you know, he got his fan base. He got the Cali, like Slim Thug, for example. That's a great example. When Slim Thug, he's from Texas. When Slim Thug originally dropped the album, he already had his Texas fan base.
Right.
You know, he already, you know, his first album was called Already Platinum. You know, because he already did it in his state, just in his state alone. So, you know, Nipsey can do the same thing and probably has done the same thing times two.
Right.
You know, but for him to have the label, he wanted to get out there more. He wanted to be able to express his gang life and also express his articulate ways with his gang life confused with it. You know, so it's good how you just see these power players in the game who don't get respect like they should because of how the media portrays the industry.
Right. And they make the choices of who they want to put up front. Even though these guys are owning businesses, these guys are pushing the envelope with music, and they're changing the way things are looked and produced, everything. But the media is like, I don't want that. I want this new, you know, white rapper. I want this new this. I want this new sound. And they're pushing that. But these people are making bigger moves than that and said, I'm not chasing that because I'm already eating. I don't need to be eating more. I'm eating, and my folks are eating, and I'm putting them on, and I'm making sure they're straight. And and this N9ne, this planet is just a pretty amazing release. The only problem I see with this is, to your point, I don't think a lot of people is going to pick it up because no one is putting it up front to say, y'all need to listen to this new N9ne release because there's so much else they're saturating the market with.
Yeah, very true. Very true. This is what's so special about the album. I think if you give it to a 17-year-old, they're going to go back and be like, wow, he's nice. You know what I'm saying? They're going to do the same thing that you did. A 17-year-old and a 22-year-old. And they both was the first time hearing this N9ne. I'm pretty sure both of them would be like, all right, who is this N9ne guy? He hard, but where did he come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, because it's like, I'm listening to all of this, but you're giving me somebody who has great, unique beats and who can spit and who isn't going too fast to where I can't, you know, be like, oh man, this lame as hell, shot. Nah, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He gives you enough to be like, whoa, but gives you enough to still, you know, the slow nigga be like, all right, that shit straight.
I can pick up with that.
You know what I'm saying?
And his features too. And his features come across that they're not really weak, that he's just trying to hook them up, or they're not trying to be better than him. They're really functional with the production and with him. And it just blends well. It's kind of like, hey, this is my style. Guess who's coming up with me? They got that same kind of style.
Yeah.
They may sound different, but the style and the way they play onto the production does really damn well.
Yeah,
Really
the production is flawless. Like I don't really have no issues about the production.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No.
The production is a masterpiece, man.
Yep. Gotta agree.
You know, I'm surprised you didn't say the only problem was as many tracks, because how many tracks he had on there? Probably like 17.
No, I think it was 20 something, wasn't it? He had a shitload of them. Put it that way.
Yeah, he had 20 tracks. He had 20 tracks.
So, because of the production and his sound, it was entertaining, man. You know, it was such an entertaining production wise, and with him rapping over it, it didn't get monotonous. It almost blended well, and an extension from another track,
Yeah,
that it almost wasn't separate tracks. It almost just kind of blended. So I never really picked up on how many tracks. You know what I'm saying? Until I was like, oh shit, this shit is still on. Then I was like, damn, I'm on 19. That's why.
Right. I think I did do that the first time. I was just like, wow, this is pretty good. What track am I? 17. Holy shit. Okay, this is nice.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So yeah. I really appreciated it. It was actually, the majority of the album was one person that produced it. This guy's name is Seven. Seven, the producer. So he's out of Kansas City also.
So good stuff though. Really good stuff. And I'm very impressed, because I really wasn't listening to this guy. And for me to roll up on this and you to put this out and say, check this one out, I was kind of like, what the fuck am I listening to? And then as it was going along, I started listening, and then I was like, I'm gonna cut this off. I'm gonna play 2 previous ones, then I'm gonna come back to this. And then I was like,
which two previous ones did you listen to? Was it a collab or was it his album?
No, his albums, because I wanted to hear what he was doing as opposed to who he was doing it with. And I went back to like his last 2 releases. I didn't want to go too far back, because then you're gonna try to pick up either way he started and then where he progressed. I just wanted to see recent shit, and then to say, yep, this is who he is. And you know what? I like this shit too. I like it. And his production was almost the same.
Yeah.
I think the previous, and I can't pull up the album real quick, but I think the last one had some highlight production that I was kind of like, oh, I really like this. But this one wasn't bad. He has continuous, very good production that suits him. And you know, a lot of people try to change, or when they change, it doesn't suit the artist. Everything he's put with him, he's not struggling with it. He's really not struggling with it.
No, not at all. No struggle bars at all. I'm talking about very well structured, like again, keeps you entertained. The hooks are great.
Yep.
You know, like, man, he you know, one of my favorite songs was when he was talking about how he was smashing his homeboy's girl.
Yeah.
Tapping in. I thought that was very well put together. You know, because he didn't have struggle bars to continue the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, some people, they gotta put kind of like, oh, and she said yeah, and I said no, and You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's
Some
a
plain
struggle
shit.
bar, bro.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so he really made it sound good, man. And I was just like, wow. He put a message in there. Like, a lot of his music has messages in there too.
Right.
They're so entertaining. You subconsciously catch a message, but you miss it. You know what I'm saying? You initially miss the message. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? So,
But when you repeat it and listen to it again, that's when you start listening to the quality of his lyrics.
right.
Because
the quality.
Yep. So I was entertained, and then I went back and I was entertained again with his other ones, and then picked up some great production. And then when I started listening to it again, I'm like, wow, this is fucking impressive. I love the way he had like the rock feel in there, you know, and
That's
how
his
he
thing.
blended in there, and it was a natural blend. It wasn't like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna do a rock beat with this one. It was like, nope, this is just what I fucking do. And
Right.
yep.
He does that so naturally.
Yep.
You know, he, like you said, man, he's been doing it for a while. He's been doing it for a while. So, you know, and then another thing in his interview, he said he wasn't impressed with his last couple of albums.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So he literally kind of walked. That's why he called it Planet, because, you know, he literally kind of walked away and was like, you know, I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it. I'm on my planet. This is the music I'm making on my planet, you know. And that was kind of the analogy he put together when talking about this album. And again, man, it was I was like, wow. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. This is how an old nigga's supposed to rap. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and keep relevant, because he's gonna get paid whether you know him or not.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
For sure. But this gave him new fans. This album definitely gave him new fans.
And I'm one of them. You know, if I need to start talking about how these people are trying to infuse rock and these alternatives, I'm like, that's nothing new to some artists. You need to look at and listen to N9ne. I can now say that.
Right.
As opposed to before, I'm looking to say, you know, if you go really far back, you can see some people who was trying it. No, this guy's successful at doing it. And impressive.
And impressive.
Yep. So rating wise, I really like it. I'm giving it an 8.25 because I really respect what he's doing. I respect the fact that he didn't change, and he is a leader where people don't even know he's leading the way music is actually out there. Right. And I was entertained for all of those goddamn tracks. Damn.
At the age of 46, the quality of music that he's putting out independently is unheard of. And then again, I said it to say this: if you exchange MMG with strange music, you know, I think we would have a whole nother conversation.
Absolutely.
You know, this would get so much push. This would be like one of the best albums of the year. So for me, this is technically one of the best, well put together albums that I've heard, especially from Strange. You know, N9ne. N9ne is the man.
Right.
You know, I have no hate. Before this, I was like, okay, he holding his own. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, damn, man, you got an art. You know how to make a song, and it don't matter what you're talking about. You know he paid homage to the breakdance. You know,
love that one. I love that one.
You gotta give him credit for that. But he's been doing that. In the interview, he also said that he's been doing that in a lot of his music. You know, he tries to put something that pays tribute to the breakers in at least in all of his projects. Okay. You know, so overall for me, it definitely, I give it a 9.2.
Ooh.
Yeah, I definitely give it a 9.2, man.
You're rating high this year, you know that, right?
Because I'm basing it off of the artist.
Okay.
You know, I have to base it off of the artist and what they're bringing and what they brought and how they're evolving. Then when everything comes out and we do our award show, then I can say, well, I rated this high and I did rate this high because of this. But overall, this is going to get this, or we're going to have to rate this here, or we're going to have to, select this. So, when we break it down a little more, or we do a halftime, yeah, we can definitely have an overview, and I can be like, this and that. But Black Panther was hard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm sticking to that. You know what I'm saying? For the West and for me, Nipsey was hard.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I can still put that's still in the rotation.
Right.
And the Dave East was hard.
Yeah, can't deny that.
So right now, man, I don't think too many touching those. And the planet overall, the planet is the best project out right now. You know what I'm saying? As a full body of work, and at the age that he's at, bruh,
right.
You gotta give it to him. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give it to him, dog. Like, so for me, I pay homage to him, man. He's been doing this is his latest album of like almost 20 albums, man. Wow. He got 20 albums.
Longevity.
20 personal albums, not collaboration albums.
Mm-hmm.
20 personal albums.
Yep. Personal releases. Yep.
This is definitely a wow. He would have definitely got an 8 just off of being an artist and coming up with some mediocre stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because of who he is. But this is nice.
Okay.
So you gotta give it to them. This is better than the 444, even though it's not in the same, I guess, realm. You know what I'm saying? But it's different.
Okay. It is.
He got more. Jay got more passionate. Jay got more personal. Mm-hmm. So, and that's why it was shorter. You know what I'm saying? But again, Tech N9ne's an entertainer.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And he's independent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So he don't got nobody backing him. So he still wanted to give you personal things, but he still gotta entertain you, give you good hits.
But it's what he wants to give you. Because since he's independent, I can give you what the hell I want. No one is forcing me to give you anything more personal than I want to give you. And I'm good. And I'm going to entertain you regardless. So, okay. Got a 925 and an 825. So, gotcha. So stay tuned for our part 2 with SyAri da Kid, where we talk about his 2 new releases for 2018 before the heartbreak, as well as Better Safe Than SyAri. So tune in to Car Wax next week and follow us on bougieblackbrother.com. Bound off the